We are here at the personal stream, baby, doing things right, kicking things off, and boy, am I so fucking excited. I just censored myself. I don't even know. I'm so fucking excited. I'm so used to having to censor myself, man. Holy shit. I am so happy to be here, guys. This is officially it. The journey begins now. As far as moving forward here. Now, again, obviously, it's been an amazing run these last 6+ years that I've had with Heroes of New Earth, and again, I'm going to explain a lot here today as far as what my status is as a whole. But I'm ready to move on in a lot of ways in terms of looking towards the future here, and of course, Dota 2 being a big part of that. At least that's the plan. We'll see how things go. But no, guys, I am so excited to be here on what is my official kickoff stream here on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/BreakyCPK, of course. Obviously, I've had this channel for a while now. I've had a partner and everything for a while now, I've streamed it in the past quite a bit, but I've never really been able to get a full schedule going, a full-time streamer schedule going, of course, with my workings with Frostburn Studios and Heroes of New Earth and everything, but we're here. We've made it. We've made it to this point. Again, I want to stay away from making it sound like it's like I've been trapped this whole time, because by no means have I. I've obviously really enjoyed my time with Heroes of New Earth and everything, but again, at the same time, I am excited moving forward here. So, with that said, thank you guys for tuning in. Looking forward to having some fun here today. Obviously, today's stream, I figured today is going to be really all about, I figured that there's going to be questions. I figured there's going to be plenty of questions that people have asked. In fact, I've already seen a lot of questions since I made the initial announcement sometime earlier in the week here. I've already been getting, I guess it was even last week now, right? So, yeah, last week. God, time's flying by so fast. I've been getting tons of questions, and so I figured it kind of made sense since I'd be getting asked questions anyways on my first stream. Why not just make it more of an AMA style, at least initially here? And then we'll get into some casting, some playing, some having fun, obviously. So, for this first part here, we're going to do some AMA. We're going to do some questions and answers, the best that I can at least. Obviously I'm going to make a note off the bat. I'm not here to... I know that I've already gotten some questions, and I know that there are some people out there that are going to want this to be spill all the dirt on, your 5 years and, name the worst employee you ever worked with and just stuff like that. I'm not going to bother with, man. I'm not here to cause drama. I'm not here to stir up drama. My time with Han has fucking been amazing these last 5 years, at least being out here in Michigan, and even a little bit more before that when I started casting it. So, but I am more than willing to answer questions that you may have concerning the past, as long as, again, I'm not gonna spill dirt here and burn bridges, you could say, even. So, so with that said, guys, for those that are tuning in now, feel free to leave some questions in chat. I do see chat, interacting here. So shout out to you, chat, with that said. That's obviously the biggest part of being able to stream here now. Get to talk with you guys, hang out with you guys, and look forward to having a good time moving forward here. So I love this comment, Danzy, man. Finally, we get to hear how bad Breaky's music taste is when he isn't being forced to use royalty-free music. So the funny thing about that, I am actually using royalty-free music here today to kick off the stream. I wanted to make sure to not have the initial part of this stream muted, because I do want to post the AMA on my YouTube channel. So I went ahead and did that. But yeah, while I'm playing and stuff, while I'm being very casual, I definitely got my own music taste going on here. So TI-7 feels good, man. Kai got. I mean, we'll see. I know that's been thrown around a bit already, guys. I am just getting my feet wet. I'm not gonna, as I made a point in my post, I'm not here to be like, "Sup, bitches, BreakyCPK's here, and I'm fucking taking over the world." Like, I'm not here to do that. I've never been that kind of guy. Anyone that knows me in real life, especially, I'm a very I don't want to say passive necessarily, but I'm not here to like take over and everything. I'm here to enjoy it, man. That's my thing. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to have a good time. I'm here to enjoy it. I've gotten this far when it comes to casting. I mean, so I think there is some validness. English is not my strongest language, despite being my only language I know. Some validity, maybe that's a better word, to me doing this for so long, having a fan base. I mean, maybe I'm pretty good at it. I don't know. I'm not going to gloat about it, but um, but my point is, I'm here to see where things go. Obviously, I would like to be successful. I would like to go to TI7. I would like to do these things here, but I have to start at the beginning. I can't expect that, with my history with Han, that I'm just going to be granted all this access necessarily to such events. So that is way down the road, guys. That's way down the road. So I'll start with that one there. More questions coming in here. Pixelated, what's up, man? Hey, I got a mod in chat. I was wondering if some mods were going to show up today. Looks like Pixelated stepping in here. Okay, so let's start at the beginning here. For those that I'm going to try to organize this the best I can. So, starting at the beginning. So, for those that don't know exactly what's going on here, well, to kind of give a full explanation here, I announced earlier this week, I guess officially, that I, as of September 15th, so yesterday, Jesus Christ, I may need to turn that shit down. Pixelated! Welcome back to the CP Kappas. You're awesome. You're fucking awesome. Don't let anyone else tell you differently, goddammit. Has been a part of the CP Kappas for 4 months now. You've been a part of the CP Kappas a lot longer than that, but I know, with me not streaming. So, yeah, that's my fault, Pixelated. I apologize. That's my fault. But hey, a new streak has begun, right? Okay, so back to focus here. Hopefully that doesn't happen again. So basically, what I'm getting at, so I announced recently here that as of September 15th, so as of yesterday, I'm no longer a full-time employee with Frostburn Studios and Heroes of New Earth. Now, what that means, that doesn't necessarily mean I'm outright done 100% with Heroes of New Earth. I made it very clear in the post, and that I'm done full-time. However, I am available for contract work. So when events do happen here on weekends and whatnot, and it kind of works out for me, I do plan to maybe still cast a little bit of Han here and there. Video projects, that was my big job at Frostburn Studios. That I don't know if people really knew that or not outside of casting. I was a video production manager, so, oversaw, a lot of these videos that you see coming out for Heroes of New Earth, things like the Avatar Spotlights, Hero Spotlights, yada, yada. I'm still going to be doing that work as well on my own time. But essentially, the reason why I'm going the contract route is because, obviously, with the full-time, I was really committed to Frostburn Studios. And one of the biggest things, I was contractually obligated to not stream and cast other games. I mean, it's understandable. Anyone that's hired by any company, that ideally is going to be a thing. So there's not animosity there at all when it comes to that. But obviously, it's gotten to a point where I felt like I've ran my route, you could say, in Heroes of New Earth, and I'm at a point where now it's ready for some to move on to some other adventures out there. Things like, of course, Dota 2 being the obvious initial transition. With that said, so as of today, this is my kickoff stream. I'm pursuing being a full-time streamer and caster in the esports world. Now, I really want to stress that, guys, the esports world, not necessarily the Dota 2 world. Now, Dota 2, I do plan to be a big part of it, and that's where I'm going to start. And you know what? If it gets to a point where I'm able to really, where I happen to be fortunate enough and be successful with it, and be successful with just one game, then, that's an option. But I want to make it clear that I'm not limiting myself from the beginning. I think it would be silly to. I want to kind of test the waters in general. Dota 2, again, is going to be a big part of it, and I already have some plans with Dota 2, and I can't say too much about it yet, but let's just say I was really shocked with something I got right off the bat with Dota 2 in terms of casting, that I'm really looking forward to the announcement kind of coming out of it, and letting you guys know what the deal is with that, but that should be fun. Anyways, but I do plan to also cast some other games here and there, such as Overwatch, such as Counter-Strike Go, Battle Right, this new game coming out. Maybe some people have heard of it. I am going to be actually officially casting a Battle Right event coming up as kind of one of the earlier events. Again, more so for the fun of it, but they did reach out to me and kind of work something out with them, so I will be doing that as well. But yes, again, to make it clear, Dota 2 is going to be my big focus, at least off the bat. But that kind of leads into another thing here with this whole streaming that I'm doing now. Being a full-time streamer, being a full-time freelance caster, I have to support myself somehow, right? So I do have the contract work on the side still, so it's not like I'm getting zero income by any means. But I do have family, at least a wife currently, and future CP Kappa babies on the way. We'll see. So things like that. I have a dog now, dog CPK, also known as Lily. That obviously is important in terms of being able to sustain a income in that sense. So to kind of be real here, I am going to be, that is going to be a part of my decision making in the whole as well. But at the same time, I'm going to grind, I'm going to work, and really make sure to obviously do my part to allow for such opportunities to come up here. I see a lot of chat going on, so I've kind of been going on a spiel here that I wanted to kind of go over before I really start getting into questions. But so I guess that kind of really covers what the plan is. What the plan is as far as my stream goes moving forward here. And yeah, no, I'm excited. I'm excited to finally be here and cast some Dota 2 even later today. Kind of having some fun with you guys. But all right, let's start getting more into questions now. So I know, again, a lot of questions have been asked. So I'll start kind of going through them here. I also got the Reddit post that I'll need to keep up on as well. GT Grace, you lost some weight. Looks good. Good to see you. Thanks. I appreciate it. I don't know if I've lost weight, honestly. I feel like, whenever I happen to stream, that comment's kind of brought up. I mean, hey, I'll take the compliment, right? I like to think I'm eating a little better and doing some exercise, things like walking the dog and some exercise here and there. So, but I appreciate it. Let's see. Can we get a classic, but at what cost? There you go. But at what cost? There's the classic, but at what cost? Yeah, there's going to be plenty of that. Yes, stay what? I was wondering how many people were going to notice this, the Stay Green shirt that I happen to be wearing and representing here today. Thanks for all the compliments, guys, by the way, as far as being huge fans and good to see me. I mean, it really... Hold on. Yeah, while I'm talking here. That I want to address that real quickly. Holy shit. I did not expect the reception I've gotten since announcing I am going to be stepping into Dota 2 and doing some casts within Dota 2 and, joining the community. Look, I come from Heroes of New Earth. I come from this community. I understand that it can be very hostile at times. I've been raised with this community in a lot of ways. So part of me was almost expecting, a good amount of that, some some hostility towards joining the community, like, oh, fuck you on trash, we don't want you here, I don't know, I'm not saying that that's 100% what I expected, but, I wouldn't have been surprised, I guess you could say, but I gotta say, man, just the messages I've been getting, the responses I've been getting, it's been so overwhelming as far as positive, and it really makes me feel like that I made a good decision here. As I pointed out in my post, I mean, a lot of this was just unknown. I didn't know what I was really getting myself into in a lot of ways. I kind of just was taking a leap of faith, you could almost say, with quitting a full-time job, that salary that we're talking about, the full-time salary and everything, being able to, know that at least that paycheck's coming every 2 weeks. And that's not a thing anymore. But at the same time, talking it over with my wife, we feel like we're in a spot to kind of at least take a chance here. And so far, again, this is just the beginning. We'll see. I know there's a lot of hard work ahead, but it's been awesome with the reception here. So thank you, I guess, is what I'm getting at there in terms of all this positive reception, guys. Will I ever play some casual Han again? I mean, yes, maybe. That's not at the forefront of my mind, obviously. I wouldn't be surprised if I go back and play some Han games every now and then. It wouldn't be, the most craziest thing ever. Because at the same time, although I do plan to be a caster and everything, I am going to also be this streamer that does play games, hang out with you guys and kind of do what I'm doing now, just the interaction side of it. So things like that is not out of the question. Let's see. There's this question here. This is one of those I want to make a point. I'm not trying to avoid stuff necessarily. You may not like answers that I give, but I do want to do my best to answer all questions here. This is from War Machine. I also noticed you posted in the Reddit post. How do you expect to become a popular caster in a game that you aren't allowed to have a complete monopoly on all casts like you did in Han? Sadly, I don't think Valve will be hiring you, and S2 did and kicking out all other casters. So how do you plan on getting by with minimal knowledge of the game itself and no practical experience? Look, if you feel like Hancast was this entity that just bullied its way onto the scene and created this quote-unquote monopoly and kicked every other caster, and if you feel like that I'm this kind of person that made a point to screw over other casters, and that's your prerogative. I feel like if you still feel that way after all this time, that's just how you're going to feel. There's nothing that I can say right now to convince you otherwise that wasn't the case. My side of it is that specifically, I know there's a specific instance with GameReplays.org. Wouldn't be surprised if you're referring to that, where we had a feud with Game Replays, where they were hosting events that only they would cast. We were hosting events that we would only cast. Streaming and casting has come a long ways in these 6+ years that I've been doing this, almost 7 now, really. And that was about 6 years ago or so. So, back then it was a lot more of like having this hold on this specific part of the scene. There was competition. And so if anything, this idea that there was a monopoly is completely, in fact, there was the opposite from what I remember. It was more of a competition thing where we were trying to do our own things and people would watch, depending on who they liked, what they liked. That's how the idea of it worked. So, I don't know. Yes, I happen to have a connection that was pretty well in touch with S2 Games at the time, and that helped me. I'm not going to sit here and say that it didn't help me in a lot of ways, but at the same time, I would like to think, me as a caster and what the commitment and all the time and effort I put into the game to just sit here and say like I only got to where I did just because I happen to have a connection with somebody behind the scenes in S2 Games is just it's frankly bullshit. Like I take that as an insult, really. That is, you're just basically suggesting that I'm not doing hard work. I'm not actually good at what I do, and I only got here because of whatever. So that's my take on that. As far as the Dota 2 thing, look, I'm stepping into it. This is what I said. I'm not expecting anything. I don't know what's gonna happen. We'll see. We'll see where it goes. If it takes off, obviously that's the plan, and we'll have some fun with it. But that's my response to that question there. Let's see. Sorry, guys. So many questions. BreakyCPK yanked the life support of Han by leaving. Okay. Addressing that real quickly. Heroes of New Earth is not dead, guys. People have been saying Heroes of New Earth has been dead for 4 years, even more. It feels like every month there's another thing that comes up that's like, oh, this is what's going to kill Han. This is what's going to kill Han. Me leaving is going to kill Han now. It's not. Heroes of New Earth is still a very successful game in a lot of ways as far as, comparative to any other game out there. Obviously, when you compare it to games that happen to be very similar, such as Dota 2, such as League of Legends, yes, the numbers are a little more minuscule than those. But as far as the overall market, Han is still a very successful game. It wouldn't still be around and actually running if it was not the case. So yes, a lot of that, it does come from Thailand and the Southeast Asian scene, but the NAU scene, there is still life in it. And there are still plans, I can say that firsthand. I was just in the office yesterday finishing up my full-time job there. There are still very, very big plans to keep things going in all the regions, NAEU as well as the Southeast Asian scene, to make sure things are going strong moving forward. So. And I look forward to seeing how they do. I really do. I got a lot of good friends there behind the scenes. In fact, some may be tuning in right now. So shout out to you guys, Brenton, Troy, and Dub, if you guys are tuning in. And maybe others out there, the design team, all that. Waza, what's up? Any specific Dota 2 casters you're really looking forward to working with? Honestly, that's kind of been another thing. I've been getting a lot of not requests, but I've been getting a lot of mentions from, honestly, some names I haven't heard in a long time, in terms of like, hey, if you ever need a co-caster, for Dota 2, let me know. That's been kind of been one of these other crazy things. It's like getting all these messages from people I haven't talked to in forever. Obviously, an name that you'll all recognize, and he tweeted me even. Trouf reached out to me. And, was like, if you ever need a co-caster, feel free to hit me up. I've been getting former Han players, many of them reaching out to me. There really isn't anyone specific that I look forward to casting with. I just look forward to getting into it, and hey, the plethora of co-casters that are here in the scene, and just seeing that all these that want to work with me is obviously great off the bat. So look forward to that. So moving down here. Where was I? So many questions being asked. I know that before Dota, you worked alongside Toby, who obviously went on to Dota. Have you spoken to each other since, and is there a chance you could be back with him at all? So, right off the bat, to answer that question, Toby1 and I are very similar in a lot of ways that we're both hype casters. Excuse me. So I'll say this: I enjoyed the fuck out of casting with Toby Wan. The dude is just a ball of energy, and I still remember the DreamHack event I did with him. I did a Singapore event with him. I think there might have been one more, but the DreamHack event, I just remember like we saw each other for the first time in not Stockholm, Jönköping. Yeah, Sweden, and we just like, hey, we did that. We did one of those moments of like where I would go, hey, it's Toby, and then he'd be over there, oh, Breaky, and then we kind of like run towards each other and then give each other a big hug, and it's just like, you know, the guy was a lot of fun to hang out with. He really was. Again, a lot of energy, but that goes to so now to the idea of do I look forward to casting at the beginning, or is that possible? I don't think so. Again, we're way too similar of casters in a lot of ways in terms of the hype idea that. Now even watching back on those casts and everything, it kind of made me realize, like, there was a lot of energy with those casts, man. That was maybe a little too much at times, because it almost seems like we were trying to one-up each other constantly, and it got to the point where we're just, like, freaking out every single fight. So, the idea that we're going to be casters is together, I don't see it for that reason alone. You know, who knows? Who knows? But... That's what I don't. That's why I don't see it happening. But, yay, yeah, maybe we'll see. How many games of Dota would you say you've played, Mr. Finally? So, okay. It says right here I've actually played 62 hours of Dota 2. Most of that has been watching Dota 2. I've maybe played 50 games at the most. Not a lot. Not a lot of Dota 2. This goes back to the point of I have a lot of hard work ahead of me. I understand that. And now again, I've watched a lot of Dota 2 on streams especially. So I consider and I come from Dota. Like I want to stress that too. I got into Heroes of New Earth like a lot of people did because of my history with Dota in the first place. So it's not like I just started with Han and that's how I knew the game. So I knew Dota beforehand. In the very beginning of Han, for people that checked out my first cast and stuff, I was calling Han Dota item names and stuff. So, and that's kind of always stuck with me. I've always been able to remember a lot of these Dota names that ended up being in Han from heroes to items. So I do have a bit of that knowledge in that sense. Now, where I do lack a lot of the knowledge is... One, things like just new heroes in general that I'm still kind of learning up on. But the strategy is obviously a big thing as well. And the game has definitely shifted a lot over time and away from Han in a lot of ways. They are very different games than what they were both in the very beginning to each other. So, again, I got a lot of hard work ahead, watching a lot more Han, casting more. But that, how did I get HonCast started? I fucking found an app to start streaming on my computer. Record videos. I just said, all right, let's start casting, and I just started casting. That's essentially what I'm doing here with Dota 2, guys. That's why when I put out that video this last weekend, that was literally me going, you know what? If I'm going to start casting Dota 2, let's fucking start. And that was me kind of just going crashing right into it. I feel like that's the best way to do it. And it's gonna take some time, but this idea that I need to play, hundreds of hours of Dota 2 before I should even think that I can be an actual caster in the scene, I've never understood. You look at traditional sports, you look at esports even right now, there's plenty of casters. In fact, some of the most popular ones do not have a lot of play experience as much as you would think, perhaps, when it comes to actually playing the game. So, yeah. Where are we at here? Scrolling back up real quickly. I don't think this is answerable by you right now, but how do I convince my brother to play Dota 2? He says Dota is too slow for him. Could you tell me the difference between your early experience? So again, I haven't really casted / played a lot of Dota 2 yet, so I don't have these really strong opinions just yet in terms of what the big differences are. But I find it, maybe this is my history of Dota kicking in, but I find it a lot more similar than I think people give it credit for still. I know we just talking about it's kind of shifted away in a lot of ways, but it's still, the core of the game is still very similar to what a Heroes of New Earth is. So, but off the bat, the biggest difference I would have to say I notice is maybe being a little bit slower, maybe a little bit darker, you could say, as far as the overall look and feel of it. But that just takes time to get used to. Not saying that's a bad thing. I understand there's the reasons for that. It definitely just takes time to get used to that. So, but yeah, as you said, it's still a little too early for me to be able to really answer a question like that. Do I regret not switching to Dota earlier? Are there any concerns you have due to coming into this game late? So, the first part of that question, it's kind of a dangerous question. I say that because, do I have any regrets? Regrets, I think regret is a little bit too strong of a word. Did I ever think about it? Was I ever, sold on the idea that could be a thing? Sure. Do I regret not moving earlier? Absolutely not. I mean, again, Han, not only was Han a very enjoyable game for me to cast and be a part of and, work for the company and Frostburn Studios and S2 Games before that, but it was a solid income, and especially at a time where I had my girlfriend at the time and my now wife. We were looking to buy a house. I just got a new car. I was going to be getting married to her at the time. Things like that. A lot of life events were happening, to where if I just left Han and tried to pursue being a Dota 2 caster, or, doing what I'm doing now, essentially, I was a lot more. It was a lot more fragile of a time to do things like that. So I don't want to say, money was the reason, absolutely, but there's a lot of effects out there that make it more. I got a lot of comments constantly of like, oh, it's such an easy decision. I don't know why you just don't go to Dota 2. It wasn't. I mean, there's a lot of reasons why I did not do this earlier on, but and again, it goes back to also I did enjoy what I had there, and I did have faith in a lot of ways in Han. Whether or not that came to fruition or not in some ways, maybe not. Obviously with the studio that we had at Han and everything, and there was a lot of potential there. It didn't necessarily reach this high point that I hoped it could in the earlier days, but it still had a successful run there on the competitive side of it. The Han Tour tournament, I think, overall was very successful, and I as far as the concerns coming in this late, no, man. Dota 2, it's still Dota 2 is in as good of a spot as it's ever been. So this concept that I'm getting in late, there's always going to be room for new talent. Like the older talent, whether they get stale, whether they retire, whatever comes up, there's always room for new talent. I mean, it's not like there's like a limit. It's not like Valve sitting back there like, all right, we have this many casters on the scene, and we're going to make sure to limit it to that many casters. No other casters can join the scene. Like, competition's great. I'm coming in, will I gain some fan base? Hopefully. Will I overtake other casters as far as popularity goes and be able to go to these events over them? I don't know. That's not a guarantee in any way, and I wouldn't be surprised if that's not the case. So. But do I have any concerns coming in this late? Again, no, not really. It's better late than never, I guess is the way you could word it. But no, I'm not concerned in any way. What do I think that Han had that Dota is missing? Is it something that you can bring to the sea? This is asked by Clicks. I don't know. That's definitely a good question. Honestly, Dota 2 has adapted a lot of things. So one of the things that I did like about Han was the Han Tour idea, the whole automated tournament system and everything. I thought was definitely before its time in a lot of these games. But I did notice more recently Dota 2 implemented an in-game tournament client that seems to be very successful and do very well. So that right there is awesome. Other than that, now this is my initial feel, but I still feel like. I do like the Han spectator interface in a couple of ways. Most noticeably, all the information you have access to right off the bat. I know that information is there in Dota 2. It's just a matter of pressing the right button or accessing it. But I liked the feel that Han had, where it's like I can just look real quickly. Oh, he has this item, or like a stat down there, like real quickly. Oh, this is happening. So, and then the idea that you can jump the quick jump to a combat. When combat's happening by pressing that one key is also a pretty cool feature. I don't think that's in Dota 2. I might be wrong. Let me know if I'm wrong on that. But Those are a couple things that come to mind. How do you plan to not get bored to death since Dota 2 games are way slow compared to Han? They're not, man. I mean, honestly, if we're talking about a slow game compared to Han, obviously, League of Legends is what we'd be talking about right now. So, Dota 2, I don't know what Dota 2 you've been watching, but a lot of the Dota 2 I've been watching, and TI6 included, I feel like it was very action-packed and very entertaining. So, yes, there's this rat Dota term that it could come to that in some ways too, but I mean, Han was no different there, right? Like, Han definitely had some really drawn-out games that took forever. So Dota 2 is, I feel like, the same way in that sense. What happened to Miss Pudding? She's still doing work with Han, actually, and I still work with her, actually, as far as doing video content. She does voiceovers for, like, things like the Hero Spotlights and stuff, so she is still around. Okay, this is a question I want to touch on here. Sorry if I sounded disgusting there. Are you planning on just going individual, or are you sending out resumes to join Dota, BTS, Moonduck, etc.? Right now, my goal is doing my thing. I want this BreakyCPK. In fact, let me address this real quickly. This logo right here. Boom. That freaking sweet logo. I love this thing. I had this very recently created here. In fact, finished very recently. This was actually created by a very good friend of mine. Her name's Jackie. She created this for me. And so first off, I mean, I love it. It's awesome. Hopefully you guys enjoy it too. So this is kind of my new brand right now. I look forward to doing my own thing. I've been committed to a specific game and an organization for the last 5-6 years of my life. Again, that had a lot of positives in some ways, but the whole point of what I'm doing now is I want to try the individual route now. I want to go individual. I want to do my own thing in the freelance world. Now, is this to say that I never want to join a studio or whatever comes up? Absolutely not. I've always made it very clear, keep the doors open. It's stupid to try to just close them, at such an early stage. But for the time being, my intentions are to do solo in the sense of the freelance work and not commit myself to any studio at this point. So, remove that home poster. So I'm catching up on the latest conversation here. All right. Go back up here. Do you even play Dota? You watch TS6, now you think you should cast Dota 2 because you casted Han. Give me the loot. That's I mean, okay. So this is my thing on that. As I said earlier, how much Dota I played. Again, it's not a whole lot. I understand that. I've watched a lot, but I understand that these communities are very prideful. Again, I come from Heroes of New Earth, a very prideful community in its own right. These MOBA scenes especially, there seems to be this idea of very pride, like, you're going to have to really prove yourself to enter our scene, or like, when somebody does come over, like obviously, classic example is the term Han trash, this idea that, oh, they're coming from Heroes of New Earth, they're going to suck, I hate that game, and then vice versa, a lot of the Han community doesn't like, the Dota community in some way. So, again, I'm not doing this suggesting that I'm riding up on a high horse being like, all right, bitches, I come from Han for 5 years of casting. Now's my time to take over Dota 2. I'm giving this a shot. I'm not expecting anything. I'm not saying anything's going to happen. I would love for it to be successful for me, and that is the intention, sure. But I'm not suggesting that I deserve this opportunity. I am going to have to work at it, and that's why I'm doing this and starting slow. When I see a question like that, give me the loot. It's like, what have I done that's suggesting that I'm being, arrogant or whatever? Have I done anything that's suggesting that? I don't think I have. I've kind of just, am I stepping on any shoes? I mean, I don't think I am. Let me know if I am, and I'll address it. But I'm doing my thing. If it works, great. If it doesn't, so be it. And look at other opportunities. Dangerous Dan, what's up, man? How do you like Michigan winners? I fucking hate them. You've been off screen for a while now. Have you been playing Learning Dota 2 in your spare time? I've kind of answered this already quite a bit. Again, it's I have been learning. Part of the process of learning, though, I and I've done this with Han. I did this with Han really most of the time as well. Okay. I got called. You know, a lot of people suggested I don't know you know the game and Han, and I'm really dumb actually when it comes to it, and I don't have any insight. Blah blah blah. Any co-caster of mine, especially on the top tier level, I would think at least, and from me talking to them behind the scenes especially, they do feel this way that I actually have a lot more insight than people give me credit for. At the same time, I'm fine being known as this guy that doesn't have insight, and at the same time, I'm also fine admitting when I don't know something or if I want to learn something. That's part of this process. I want to learn with you guys. I've been going in a lot of Twitch chats and kind of asking questions. I have connections where I can ask them questions if I need to. I have a lot of these co-caster potential people that have suggested they want to help me out, and I plan to take advantage of that. You know, just from also doing this stream thing, I'm going to be casting, after I'm done with this AMA here, and I'm going to be doing my best to cast, but I'm going to be looking at chat and be like, I'm going to ask you guys a question, or I'm going to look at chat and make sure, that's how it works. Okay, I'm going to correct myself. I'm fine if I look stupid. That's part of the process. I'm not this prideful dude that's, going to act like, I know everything from the beginning. I'm so glad you decided to go to Dota. Thanks, Ed. It was appreciated, man. Thanks for all the follows, by the way. I see a lot of follows coming in. Really appreciate it. And shout out once again to Pixelator for that sub. One of hopefully many, many to come here. A lot of chat going on. Live device, you should mod your wife. Good point. Hey, Rodney, I'm actually here. Let's take I do need more mods. Is Wepis here? Somebody said hi to Wepis. Wepis! What's up, man? Long time no see. Good to see you, Wepis. Hopefully you're still here. It's been a while since you said that. Always liked Breaky's casting in Han. Hope he does well in Dota 2. Thanks, Genghis Han. Appreciate it, man. Is it true that Ice Frog kind of helped making Han, and Han was supposed to be Dota 2? There's a lot of information on the internet that you can kind of look that up for yourself. Are you a dog person or a cat person? I'm a dog person 100%. I fucking hate cats. My history with cats is just so annoying. They're just devious bitches, man. I just triggered me right there. I switched to Dota from Han like 6 months ago. I have played a lot. If you have any questions, see, it's shit like that, man. Corporal, what the fuck? I appreciate that. Like, I've been getting so much of that, and I really do appreciate that. And again, if you want to assist in information with me, feel free to tune into my stream and when I'm casting, because like I said, I will reference the chat quite a bit. So, Chuck64, what's up, man? Shout out to all the viewers, by the way. Kind of a quick recap. I know more and more people may be tuning in, but again, this is I'm BreakyCPK. I come from the Heroes of Newerth community here, and I announced recently that I'm going to be joining. Doing my full-time streaming, starting a full-time streaming thing, as well as casting esports in general, specifically Dota 2 being a big part of that. So this is me kind of just doing a live AMA, hanging out with you guys, answering any questions that you happen to have. What is your item build for Invoker? Do you rush Force Staff? Like, are you trying to force your way into the Dota scene? Clever. I don't know. Invoker's one of those heroes, man, that's one of those, like, you need to really sit down and take a look at it at its own. Invoker's like 10 heroes in one, I feel like. Heroes, man. That is a hero that I will admit I do not understand fully. All I know is Sunstrike's a thing, and it's fucking awesome when it lands. No, I know a little bit more about the hero, but... When you started Dota 2, did you find yourself leaning towards Han heroes? Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think that's the same. I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of Dota 2 or former Han players that switched to Dota 2, that was their thing in the beginning too. Like, it's that comfort thing, right? Like, you're going to do what you feel is comfortable and try to help you ease your way into a new game. Why not play something that at least you're somewhat familiar with from another game? So a lot of these Han heroes that are the Dota equivalent, definitely. But at the same time, I did the same thing with Han in the beginning. I played a lot of Han heroes that came from Dota. I did not like the new heroes to Han. I preferred to play the Dota heroes, things like the Omni Knight into Jeraziah, kind of, I'm blinking another one here. But, what's another hero that I really... Oh, yeah, Demented Shaman. So, Shadow Priest into Demented Shaman. Things like that. So, I did the same thing for Han, and I kind of been doing the same thing going into Dota 2. But at the same time, I have made a priority to really learn these new heroes as well. I've actually gone through the hero index in Dota 2 and kind of made a point to really look at the new heroes. Arc Warden was one that I did a bit of research on. He's a very interesting hero with being the intelligence carry that he is. The idea of his ultimate, creating the illusion, and seems like he could have some potentials, but things like that. So. Yeah, Hearts TV, it's not about the money. He had a comfortable salary, huh? It's more exactly. Like, anyone that thinks that... I've actually seen that a couple times. Like, I've seen this idea that I'm selling out by going to Dota 2. The fuck? I'm literally... see, I'm doing the opposite, I feel like, in terms of selling out. I'm doing the opposite here. Now, I will say I am going to sell it a little bit, that, again, to stress the fact that this full-time stream thing, I want this to be a thing. I do. But I do need some help. I do need some help in order to make it a thing. So I'm going to do my part to create a lot of content and be here. My full schedule is going to be every single weekday. Try to do at least 6 hours a day, if not longer. Casting events later on in the evening / on the weekend, stuff like that. So if you want to support me, cool. And I do plan to have things to really help to give back for those that do support, things like apparel, like shirts and stuff that I'm going to be looking into creating down the line as well. So, but I do appreciate all the support that I do get. Obviously, it's always awesome, guys. So, War Kuma, it sounds like you have a legit potential. Hope you work hard for it. That's the plan, man. I appreciate that, though. Don't listen to the haters. You the man. Existing Dota casters will never ever get on your level, right? Moon Meander in the house. No, he's not really, but. Are you gonna try and cast anything beside MOBAs? Beef, what's up? By the way, Beef. Sorry, I've been scrolling down chat slowly, so I do apologize. I'm not like caught up to the very beginning. I'm almost there. Are you trying to cast anything besides MOBAs? Yeah, as I said earlier, Overwatch and Counter-Strike Go are a couple of other games that I do plan to actually dabble in a little bit, kind of see potential there as well. So to answer your question simply, yes, that's that. Stay green, what? Stay what? You got to catch up on the highlights from all the previous TIs so you have some background info. That is some good advice. I appreciate that. I would have. It would be nice to. That's one thing that is going to be lacking for me a little bit too. Again, I've been following the Dota 2 scene really since the beginning, so I remember watching every single TI. In fact, TI1 I was at the Gamescom that TI1 was at. So, but. I do understand that is one of the many things that I'm going to have to really try to read up on and make sure I am somewhat knowledgeable about. So, but at the same time, again, whenever I see stuff like that, it's like, yes, I agree, and I do plan to work hard, but to be a caster, I don't need to be this fucking encyclopedia of knowledge that knows everything. Like, that doesn't need to be a thing either. I feel like that's overstressed a lot of times by community members. Dang, what was that? I don't even know what that was. Holy shit, Crook743, you're now a CP Kappa. Welcome to the CP Kappas. You're awesome. You're fucking awesome. Don't let anyone else tell you differently, goddammit. Thank you so much for the support, Crook. Appreciate that, man. But yeah, again, I understand that there's definitely knowledge to be learned, and I look forward to learning said knowledge the more and more. Imagine a BreakyCPK and AC. Yeah, AC I've heard, and I've actually listened to him a bit too. He kind of is my equivalent, right? Where he does have that voice as well that people like to say, and gets really animated in fights and stuff. So, the Subtrain Independy. You're now a CP Kappa. Welcome to the CP Kappas. You're awesome. You're fucking awesome. Don't let anyone else tell you differently. God damn it! Thank you so much, Independy. Really do appreciate it. Really do appreciate it. That means a lot, guys. Again, I don't want to act like I'm selling out, even though in some ways I am. Being a streamer, that's part of it, right? But your support, I promise you, it will not go in vain. I really do. This is my life. This is my life moving forward. It needs to work. No, it's going to work. We're going to have some fun, guys. Okay, I'm sold with BreakyCPK trying to break into Dota since he's a dog person. I'm glad I got your approval. Thank you. What is my MMR in Dota 2? I don't think I'm even competitive ranked yet. I haven't been able to play a competitive match yet, so I'm still working my way to that point. I know that's going to turn a lot of people off by saying that, man, but yeah. I've watched a lot more than I've played. Again, I'll stress that point. Are you familiar with the term 3-2-2? I am. Kinda. That has to do with some match throw, right? That has to do with some throw by a Russian team or something that they threw a match like a couple years ago, and they got caught doing it or something because of betting. Oh, God, that's something I'm going to look forward to. Not really. The whole skin betting and everything in this game. I know it's not as bad as CSGO, but I know that could be a downside in some ways. Will there be a haunt tour this year, Mr. Lampa? Mr. Impa? Whatever your name is. I don't know. I do not have an answer to that. I will say that there is going to be events. There are planning to be events of some sorts coming up for Heroes of New Earth. What those events are, it's not my place to say, or, frankly, I don't even know, honestly. So that news, I'm sure, when they're ready, they'll come out with that. But I am very confident. Rotterdam! Good boy, Rotterdam. Thanks so much for the subscription, Rotterdam. Really do appreciate it. I know you've been a long-time supporter of a lot of the Han scene into the Dota scene. I look forward to hanging out with you some more. So I appreciate it, Rotterdam. The sub train is real. So cool to see you guys. Thank you so much. Back when I was doing the streams 3 years ago, 2-3 years ago, at least a little bit, I actually got up to we had 200 CP Kappas, I want to say, at a point. So time to get back up there, boys. Let's do it. Let's do it. Thanks so much, though, for the support, guys. Where was I at? Oh, so yeah, about Haunter. So yeah, that's what I'll say about that. You should put in a little text box beside you with some of the more common questions you're being asked. Oh, so like a reference thing? I mean, yeah, I could. Dude, I'm so focused on trying to answer these questions right now, so I think this is doing it. I'm going to put this on a VOD as well. If people want to watch it, they can. So it's on 100% dead now. Just explain, no, it's not. Thank you, Tuzzy Fuzzy. It's awesome seeing these names that I recognize as well. I love it. Tuzzy Fuzzy, welcome back to the CP Kappas. You're awesome. You're fucking awesome. Don't let anyone tell you this differently. God damn it. Thank you so much, man. Growdy, welcome to the CP Kappas. I want to answer some questions, guys. Growdy, thank you so much. Welcome back to the CP Kappas. I think that name looks familiar. Anyways, welcome to the CP Kappas. You're awesome. You're fucking awesome. Don't let anyone else tell you differently. Love your voice, radio announcer voice, and glad you're going into Dota 2. But why did you decide to come in? So, kind of really explained this already. Just a quick touch on that. It's just natural, right? Like, a lot of Han players have gone into Dota 2 in the professional scene, been very successful. There's been some casters that have gone to the Dota 2 scene. I don't know if a lot of people know this, but people like Sunsfan did some casting with Heroes of New Earth in the beginning. Zyori, of course, did some casting with Heroes of New Earth in the beginning. There's a lot of personalities. Toby Waters we were talking about earlier, though he originally comes from Dota. But the point is, the games are still similar enough. It's kind of the comfortable transition for me. Frankly, I got asked I would get asked literally every day, at least one message, possibly more, of when are you coming to Dota 2? When are you casting Dota 2? From just so many different people. Zendro, welcome back to the CB. I keep saying welcome back. I don't know. Welcome to the CB Kappas. You're awesome. You're fucking awesome. Don't let anyone else tell you differently. God damn it. Thank you so much, Zandrio. I really do appreciate it. Holy shit. Tuzzy Fuzzy with a $2 donation. But at what cost? There you go, man. There you go. Thanks, guys. This is awesome. All right, keeping it going here. Keeping it going. Oh, Arc Warden isn't in Captain's mode for another 6 months. All right. Fluffy Pillow, welcome to the CB Kappas. You're awesome. You're fucking awesome. Don't let anyone else tell you differently, goddammit. Thank you so much for this, guys. Which hero is my favorite and why? Shadow Shaman is my favorite hero from early Dota to Heroes of New Earth being Demented Shaman, back to Dota 2. I love the Shadow Shaman hero. Help Moni! Help Money! Welcome to the CB Kappas. You're awesome. You're fucking awesome. Don't let anyone else tell you differently, goddammit. You are going to enjoy your stay. I just know it. But yeah, just off the bat, just quick fire answer to that question. That would be the answer. Oh shit, he's a great start. Great start. See, this is stuff like this I need to learn. Which is your favorite hero? Oh, that's what I already asked. If you're very successful, would you consider creating a studio? Growdy, first, again, thanks for subscribing, by the way. Just getting to your question now. I mean, that's way down the line. Right now, my focus is doing my freelance work, doing this full-time stream gig, and both enjoying but also working hard at it to, be successful, being able to make it a life, a thing that I can successfully do, with income and work in life here. So that's my focus, creating a studio down the line. I know a lot of these personalities have kind of jumped into that. I can't sit here and say I have the intention of doing that right now. It's not something I've fully thought about, but again, I'm a person that, excuse me there, I keep doors open, so. You should check out Heroes that are in Captain's Mode first. Yeah, I guess Arc Gordon was a horrible example, not only because he's not in Captain's Mode apparently, but he's not even into intelligence. So I could have sworn he's intelligence, man. Oh, boy. Can you dab on cam for us? No, because I fucking hate dabbing. When I'm watching just like some sporting event or whatever, or like the camera goes on these little kids and they just start going, it's just like, what the God, I just want to, I don't want to hurt them, obviously, but I just want to smash their face in. I don't want to hurt them, though. Oh, man, I know I just dabbed, though. Thank you. Who was that, by the way? That was Ascendance One. Welcome back to the CP Kappas. That is definitely a name I recognize right there. Thank you so much, and welcome back. Which one do you prefer, Dota 2 or Han or Dota 1 or LoL? Definitely not LoL, I'll say that. The other three are awesome. Will I be able to keep up with the Dota 2 memes? I know we got a lot of work ahead of me, and that's going to take up most of the time, though, right? Keeping up with the Dota 2 memes. So, was I right on the 3T2? I don't even know. What's up, Hermata? I've been waiting for this. Awesome. Power what? Crook? Pete Down in the house. What are some nice things in Dota that you find a nice change from Han? Best of luck. Really looking forward to seeing you come to Dota. Firo, thanks, man. Appreciate it. Honestly, again, back in the early days of Han, especially when things were really starting to get started, they had me come out here and it got the studio going and everything. I was really looking forward to making this a big deal, to making Han a big deal with the competitive scene, getting this studio work done, coming in every single day, having shows, podcasts, doing these shows with interviews and basically making it something that people could tune into for 12 hours a day and just have all kind of Han competitive content. Obviously, it did not happen as would have liked. Dota 2, on the other hand, it's clearly successfully done that idea in a lot of ways. It's become the closest thing to a sport than I think really any other esport other than, maybe like a League of Legends or a Dota 2, a CSGO. But, Dota 2 is right up there, if not better in some ways, than those other games even. So, I got into casting esports in the first place by being a sports broadcaster, by being a traditional sports broadcaster, football, basketball. That's why I'm here in the first place. So, I come from that sports world. I was looking forward to eventually over time helping the esports world, get there in a lot of ways. And I feel like Dota 2 is honestly the closest thing to that right now. And that honestly excites me the most. It really does. Because I love this, seeing all these numbers on these players, falling, being the fan base that all these players get as a result of making big plays and everything, and going to events and seeing these lines of fans signing autographs, or not the fans signing autographs, but the players signing autographs for the fans, because it's just a fucking awesome environment. So I look forward to being a part of that. Sebek, I once heard Swindle criticize you for not improving knowledge of Han over the years of casting and just being stuck shouting fights. Honestly, he was right. Okay, I'll say this. When it comes to my Han career, in the earlier days, I was more just purely hype. I was just more about the pure hype. A $2 donation from Sayre, by the way. Thanks for that. What player from Han are you most excited to cast, Muna? I'll get to that question in just a second. Thanks for the question, though, Sayre. Really do appreciate the $2 donation as well. In the early days of Han, I was just that. I was a hype man. That was my focus. Because, again, this was very new for me, too. And I did not expect that to happen. I was not going into casting Han expecting to be invited to come out and work for us, too, and, really travel to events. And that kind of just happened. It was like, okay, I'll just go for the ride. And then before I know it, I'm fucking in Sweden, casting Heroes of New Earth. I'm in Kalamazoo, Michigan, working for the studio that created the game. Like, that was never the intention. I did realize over time that, you know, if this was becoming my job, this was becoming my thing, then I should really commit more time to gaining that said insight. And I feel like I did as time went on, you know, through the Han Tour seasons especially. I feel like I did, and I feel like I got feedback, especially behind the scenes, that gave me validity for that. If you have a different opinion, you know, so be it. But I will say, going into Dota 2, though, again, I understand that I am going to need to know this knowledge or get some good amount of knowledge to really help myself be successful in it. Back to the question from the donation. Again, thanks for the $2 donation. What player from Han are you most excited to cast? All of them, man. And I know that might sound like an easy answer to give, man, but I'm so excited to cast all these guys. I've been watching. I've messaged so many of these Han players, especially, you know, when they initially make the transition to Dota 2 and then when they have some success in it. I really think it's kind of fun having that niche, right, where because I come from the Han scene and cast all these guys before, that these are these guys that really stand out in my mind. And I feel like I have a lot more knowledge about than a lot of these other players, obviously. So, if I could cast, I would almost prefer to cast players that used to play Han, because then I could bring up, you know, history of them, what I used to know about them, and maybe how things have changed, whatever. Some advantage and insight there that maybe other Dota casters don't have, because, you know, they didn't watch them in Han. So that would be kind of a cool advantage there. Yeah, honestly, all of them. Zai, I gotta say, Zai, I've missed him for the longest time. I am very much looking forward to casting him again now that he's with EG here. Spoiler alert, in case you didn't hear. So yeah, him in the new roster over there at EG, Zai especially. He's a fun guy. The dude's growing up so much too. I look forward to casting him if I had to pick a specific name. Moomiander,
but at what cost?
Thank you so much for the, wow, $13.37 donation, the elite donation. That's awesome. Nick, good to see you in Dota now. Your humble ass won't agree, but you gave the Hong Kong scene a lot of success they saw. If you need help catching up, ping me. I appreciate that, man. You know, I do get so humbled, man, from these events that I've been able to travel to and being with the Han scene. And, I've heard stuff like that before, how, you know, I'm the reason why competitive Han's been a thing. I'll say this. There's a lot of people behind the scenes, and actually I want to give a shout-out right here. Inkland is a name that comes to mind. For anyone that followed the Han scene or participated in it, she was pretty much the head admin of a lot of the tournaments over time with Han Tour and everything. It's people like that did a lot more for the scene than it didn't necessarily get credit for it. But, you know, I understand that I'm kind of the face, the voice. You know, I'm out there in the public a lot, so I get a lot of the attention for maybe a lot of that success. And I've done my part. But at the same time, there's so many people behind the scenes, too, that have been fucking awesome and done a lot of work for it. So, but thank you so much for the lead donation. That's awesome there. What item did Swinnemones drop during TI5 to gain 13 mana total? That was a Storm Spirit. Yeah, he's fucking playing, he was playing, not a Storm Spirit, a Cyclone Stick. He was playing Storm Spirit, and he dropped his Cyclone Stick because he wanted to get a little bit more mana effectiveness, and it ended up getting destroyed, and then everything went downhill from there. That was also the game that had a shit ton of pauses, wasn't it? Or there was a game before against Virtus Pro, I want to say. That following complexity in TI5 was like the most fun I had watching Dota 2 in a long time, man. I loved following them, especially, you know, with me knowing them and everything, and Swinnemones especially. So, but yes, I believe that's what it was. Thank you for the $5 donation, Calf Snake. You brought me so much joy through all the Han casting. I wanted to say hi at DreamHack Summer 2015, but I was kind of starstruck. Anyways, I wish you the best of luck moving forward. Here's my small humble contribution. You didn't have to do that, Calf Snake, but I do appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. I understand the idea of being starstruck, like, you know, again, especially, I talk about the story, like, at the very beginning, when I went to my first DreamHack, this idea that people, like, would come up to me, and it was, like, kind of the shy, like, wait, are you BreakyCPK? And I'm like, yeah? And they're like, dude, we watch you on Honcast. Can we get a picture with you? You know, can we get an autograph? I'm just like, I don't even know how to autograph, but sure, like, I guess I can autograph my BreakyCPK. So it's the weirdest and craziest feeling knowing that people, you know, watch you online, and I've been entertained for so long that, you know, just want to get a picture with you. But I guess I've also done the same myself, where I see people at these events and players from other scenes where I'm like, holy shit, that's that guy. Like, that's that personality or that player that I love to watch. and really, find successful or whatever. And I've not asked to get a picture with somebody because of that reason myself. So you are lucky to have your wife that supports you in everything you do. Archangel, glad you brought that up, and she possibly is turning in right now, but I know I am, man. I know I am. My wife is fucking amazing. Without her, Cyclone Stick, the Yule Scepter, yes, that. People call it Cyclone Stick, do they not? I've heard it called Cyclone Stick before. But Yule Scepter is what it was, yes. Anyways, but yeah, no, my wife has been amazing through this process. Again, without the fact that she's behind me doing what I'm doing here is just amazing, and couldn't ask for anything more. T-Head, do you remember the 4v5 best of 3 finals on the DreamHack? I do. I don't know if there's a VOD anywhere, unfortunately, but that was Kebab, and Online Kingdom. Cost? And I forget who it was against, but Fox again. A little support for BreakyCPK. You didn't have to, Brenton. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate it. Shout out to the office once again for tuning in. Do I know Ice Frog's real identity? I have no clue. I have never seen him, no. What about casting some Street Fighter? So I've said this before. Street Fighter is one of those scenes and games that I honestly would be intimidated to cast. I love watching Street Fighter. Honestly, when it comes to watching tournaments and stuff, Street Fighter pretty much, it's up there with the Dota 2 and the Han and stuff. So, but as far as casting that, I feel like that especially you need to have a very technical knowledge of the game constantly, and I don't feel like I would be comfortable in it. So. When am I coming back to Sweden? DreamHack winner. Zandriel, I don't have any plans right now, unfortunately. But again, this is the beginning. We'll see. We'll see what the future holds. That's the best I can say on that. That's the best I can say. But I would love to go back. I was fortunate enough to go to DreamHack 7 times I think throughout my Han career, 7 or 8 times. Loved it every time. I really did. Who was my favorite team to root for last TI? So. Complexity was my favorite team to root for because they were 100% Han pros. Chessie Limp. You had Swindle Z Freak, of course. They were. Who was the 5th player? I'm blanking on the 5th player now. God damn it. Somebody say it in chat real quick. Who's the 5th player in Complexity? How can I not remember this? Anyways, it was a lot of fun watching them and watching their success. And everything. However, not being able to get out of the wild card. Hand scan, that's right, hand scan. Of course I could forget hand scan. I should get hand scan. God damn it, now it's going to make me look bad. I promise, I care about hand scan. But at what cost? It was a lot of... I was looking forward to rooting for them, I'll say that. But unfortunately, they fell out early. Escape Gaming became my new team, especially with Keizu. Being on, of course, Era as well. Tuzzy Fuzzy, what about casting Overwatch? And also, why did you lower the donate sound? Is it lowered? I can turn it up a little bit. It sounds fairly loud for me, but yeah, thanks for the $2 donation, by the way. There we go. The donation sound is turned up a little bit. Sorry about that. I've been answering from stream chat, by the way. I've noticed a lot of the Reddit questions have been in the stream chat, so yeah, I do apologize if there's people on the Reddit chat that feel free to re-ask the question here because it's a lot more busy, honestly, than I thought it would be. So, which is great. Do I remember EG versus Duskman and Han? Absolutely. I remember a lot of those classic matches, man. Definitely a great one up there. Which is the best Dota girl, and why is it Venomancer? If I read this, there's no backing out. I'm backing out. Talked with Papa Drage lately? I have, actually. He reached out to me, and I actually tuned into his stream, and he reached out to me and said, looking forward to hanging out with him, and perhaps doing some fun cast with him in the future. We'll see. But, yeah, Papa Drage, one of those just classic, really good guys. And I would love to get the chance to hang out with him again for sure. I did turn it up a little bit, so hopefully it's not too loud. Perhaps we'll get a test here. But at what cost? I know, right? What was my most memorable play for you during your haunt time? Okay, I mean, for casting a game for 6+ years, ask me what my most memorable play was. I can't sit here and say. There's one that comes to mind. There's a couple that come to mind. One was a play by Moon Meander. Sure enough, he was playing Tundra. It ended up being in a base race scenario.
But at what cost?
Again, yeah, that was a little bit louder. Hopefully that was good. Tuzzy Fuzzy, thanks again for the $2 donation. I mean, you almost jumped out of your chair when it Oh, sorry, Tuzzy Fuzzy. Sorry, I did not answer that. I'll answer that real quick. Yes, I do plan to cast Overwatch. That's one of these other games on the side, Overwatch, CSGO, are the couple that come to mind that I do want to at least dabble into for sure. Like, so my full streaming, during the week here, it's going to be, I'll play and cast a bit of Dota 2, sure, but on maybe like one day I'll be like, today's Overwatch, and I'll play Overwatch as well as maybe try casting a little bit of it, kind of just feeling it out. So, but yes, I've been loving Overwatch. My wife actually really loves to play Overwatch as well, so she kind of has the influence there of wanting me to maybe cast it a little bit, and Overwatch is still a fairly new scene and with a lot of potential. So, again, it's one of those cases it'd be silly not to at least kind of give it a shot and see what happens, but Dota 2 is my big presence right now. And again, for those that are tuning in a little bit later now, more and more people tuning in again, I really do appreciate it, guys. I kind of announced this earlier, but to kind of swing back to it, there is an event coming up there's an event coming up. It's a tournament in China. It's called the MDL, I think, is what it's called. That's the abbreviation, at least, the MDL. It's coming up in a couple weeks here. I'm going to be doing some kind of casting event for that. That's all I'll say right now. That's all I can tell you right now. I do not have any more information for you right now, but let's just say I was shocked when the opportunity came up, and I was very humbled. I really was, especially just entering the scene. And I am looking forward to kicking ass with it. Mars Dota 2 League, that's what it is. Yes, appreciate that, Growdy. So that's going to be a fun way to kind of kick things off officially when it comes to tournament casting there. So there you go. That's kind of just a tease at that. Hopefully I can give you more information on that in the near future. Can I hit up Tralf and cast with him? The best duo cast Honcast ever had. Tralf's a great guy. He already hit me up on Twitter and now even Skype. I've talked with him a bit. The idea of me casting with him, absolutely. I would love to cast with him again. He was a fantastic caster. I agree with Heroes of New Earth. And I would love to get with him again and cast with him again. I know he's been around the Dota 2 scene now for a while. So we'll see. We'll see. I don't have any specific plans just yet, but that's one of those cases. He's definitely high up on the list in terms of somebody I look forward to co-casting with for sure. Once again. I answered the question, damn it. Monotherapy, what's up, man, by the way? Terror Sword, what's up? I heard the Fnatic boys were really fun in Han. What was casting them like? Fluffy Pillow, man. Casting them in Han, they were a blast because not only were they such an entertaining team behind the scenes. I mean, you can only imagine with the personalities that they had. Now seeing them in Dota 2, you had your No-Tail, you had your Era. Wasn't Hani a part of that squad at the point? I think he was, actually. I think Hani was a part of Fnatic at a time. You had Trixie. Trixie, maybe not. I mean, he's not the most crazy, fun. Okay, he's a fun guy, but he's not like the most animated guy, I guess I'll put it. But he was I've said this time and time again. Trixie was probably one of the best players I've ever got the chance to watch and cast in Heroes of New Earth. So he's still playing, right? I believe he's still. I would have to look up on that, but I think he's joined another team recently or something. So if somebody can confirm that, yeah, and then Nova, of course, the great Nova. He never made his way fully into Dota 2, but for those that didn't get the chance to meet and watch Nova, you're missing out. You're missing out. The dude was awesome. He always had a bandana on. He always had sunglasses and gloves. Oh, Nova. Oh, Nova. Favorite hero to watch someone play from a caster perspective? I'm gonna guess he'll say Meepo. Meepo's obviously up there on the list for sure. He's a micro-intensive hero, such as a Meepo, is always going to be entertaining in the right hands. Coming from Han, obviously you have your Ophelia. Well, of course, see, this is when I'm trying to put myself on the spot now and rather go back and forth between Han and Dota 2. I don't know how I don't know the Dota 2 affiliate equivalent right now. Somebody will mention it in chat. Anyways, point is, when you watch a player play a very micro-intensive hero in a game like this, Chen, thank you very much, guys, Chen. It's always impressive. It's like extra impressive, right? Because you kind of just realize, like, holy shit, they're controlling all of these guys and doing it at a level that I can't even play one fucking guy. Like, it's crazy. It's absolutely insane. I've always been impressed by that. So, honestly, watching any micro-intensive hero, a Chen is another one that would come to mind. Watch a bed Meepo, yeah, I've actually seen about that for sure. Franzi Chen. Do you remember when you talked gibberish on Honcast? Yeah, that's on the YouTubes. You can check it out if you wanna see that. So happy about you moving on. You can enjoy your ex-colleagues and meet new ones. Glad your talent didn't go to waste. Wish you the best of luck. Much love. Thanks, Off Fresh Weed. Appreciate that, man. Yeah, it truly has been an amazing journey with Heroes and Earth. And again, I'm not 100% quitting, outright by any means, but I am moving on to other adventures. Of course, Dota 2 being a big part of it. Yeah, Beastmaster was another hero that I wanted to mention too. I actually watched, and I found out yesterday, in fact, watching Keisu's stream, that Beastmaster now has the ability to spawn 2 Hawks and 2 Boars, which is absolutely insane. So you're looking at 5 units essentially that you need to control, and it can get pretty crazy there. So, what do I think of Cancel, Justin, Moo, Z-Freak, and Swindle? Honestly, I'm not too familiar with Cancel and Justin. Moo, obviously, I recognize from DC and his success over there this last TI, which, God, yeah, talk about that. That was one of those TI moves, roster moves. It's like, wait, what? No longer a part of the team that got second place in this fucking international tournament? Okay. Z-Freak and Swindle, of course. I'm always, any team that, frankly, Swindle and Z-Freak are on, I'm always going to be a big fan of watching. Swindle especially, the dude is just one of the better captains. Not only that, is he one of the better captains that I feel like on the scene. I mean, yes, I'm completely biased, of course, by saying that coming from Han. But he's also one of the most animated, I feel like, and one of these like that really does appreciate where they're at in terms of the success and this opportunity that they're getting. Like, I love seeing the enthusiasm, the cheering after they win a big fight. Like, yeah, let's fucking do this. Like, getting hype. Like, I love that about esports. As Saffirez, welcome. I don't know why I said your name weird. Saffirez, welcome to the CP Kappas. You're awesome. You're fucking awesome. Don't let anyone else tell you differently, goddammit. Thank you so much for the subscription. I know, Breaky subs in 2016. Who would have thought, right? Who would have thought? What are we going on here? What player team do you think is the most entertaining to watch cast? So, I mean, I guess that kind of any team that has a former Han player. Again, I feel like that's going to be my biggest strength, especially. So that's what I really do look forward to casting the most are these former Han players and stuff, and whatever they happen to be playing. So yeah, monotherapy. I will be casting Han somewhat when events happen and when they reach out to me. Now, if I happen to have another commitment, such as a Dota 2 event or something else, then, I may not. But I'm doing contract work with them. A lot of it comes down to the video production side, but when events may happen, and again, to stress this, from my time there, and I am very confident some events are going to be taking place for the competitive Han scene. What they are, I do not know. But I'm confident that there's going to be some Han events, and I will be asked to cast them when those events do come up. So, excuse me. Have I met Sunsfan TV? Yeah, I actually got the chance to meet him several times. In fact, way back in the Han days when I did NASL, God, that was a long time ago now, but I casted with Phil the Thrill. But also, Sunsfan was another kind of caster for that event. Him and... I can't remember the other name now. God, who was the other guy? I'm going to feel so bad now because he was a great guy too. There's just so many fucking names. I do apologize. You know what I'm talking about? Sunsfan and that other guy that casted NASL that I got the chance to meet. Great guy, though. He's a lot of fun. I know that You know, seen as a jokester in a lot of ways on the Dota scene as well. But he's a genuine good guy behind the scenes too. He really is, from my experience with him at least. So, Reeves, that's who it was. It was Reeves. It was not Ziori. No, Ziori I casted with several times actually, but it was Reeves. Thank you, Chanindu. Appreciate that, man. No, it was not Sir Action Slacks. Although that guy's pretty. Seems like he's an awesome dude himself. Am I a No-Tail fanboy? Who the fuck isn't a No-Tail fanboy? The guy's amazing. He's not only just an awesome player, an entertaining player, but he has that entertaining play style to him. I assume that still translates over to the Dota 2 scene. At least it has from the little bit that I've watched him here. And he's one of the funnier guys behind the scenes too, from my experience at least. So, abso-freaking-lutely. God, my email's blowing up with all these follows. Thanks again, guys, for all the support. I really do appreciate that. Okay. Congrats, Breaky, for looking for new opportunities and staking with Han. Oh, sticking with Han. Yes, again, that's I'm not Han's not dead. I'm not giving up on Han. Do I know what happened to Strife? It's not on Steam anymore. I don't know. That ever since S2 Games and Frostburn Studios did their thing, where Frostburn took over Han, and I went with Frostburn Studios. I didn't really follow too much in S2 Games anymore, and I'm not sure what happened with Strife. So couldn't tell you. I didn't even know it's not on Steam anymore. So you said about looking forward to casting games with Zai anymore. No, not. Oh, yeah, well, casting games that he's playing in is what I meant. Not actually being a co-caster. I mean, if he wants to be a co-caster, obviously, of course. But I look forward on casting games that he's playing in is what I meant to suggest right there. So, have I seen Admiral Bulldog? No, I've not met Admiral Bulldog before. I'm going to go to the Reddit post here real quickly, see if there's any newer questions that I can maybe answer before I move on here. Dowork asks, who am I? Who are you, he says. That's a good question. So, again, more people tuning in. Thank you guys for tuning in. Appreciate that. Should hit that follow button if you want to watch some more Dota 2 content here, as well as other stuff, and in my personal stream. I'm going to become a full-time streamer here, streaming. So who am I, though? I'm BreakyCPK. I'm a former full-time caster of Heroes of New Earth for the last 5-6 years here. I just announced recently, though, in fact, today is officially my first day post-full-time Heroes of New Earth. I'm actually pursuing other opportunities in the esports and casting world, and Dota 2 is planned to be a big part of that, at least for me. So, this is me kind of doing a launch AMA stream to kind of answer all these questions that people seem to have. And then going to be playing. This stream's going to be a lot about playing some games, but also, you know, again, the mix of casting here and there. So, did I watch the TI3 finals live? I did, Flavala. Flavafla. I did watch the TI3 finals live. That was the Na'Vi versus Alliance, right? The Dream Coil, the $1 million coil. Yeah, no, that was. You talk about one of the greatest events, greatest series in esports history. Obviously, that is up there, if not almost takes the cake. So that was a fan. See, I was actually thinking about this earlier. Was that the series that had the Chen Pudge interaction? Because I remember, I think it was that where they would literally port back Pudge to the well with Chen, and he would throw out a hook, and it would hook them all the way back to the well. I think it might have been that. It might have been like the series before, but anyways, that was TI2. Okay, that was Na'Vi versus Tong Fu. Okay, so that was TI2. I do remember that. That was hilarious to watch. I remember that happening, and we're like, "Can we do that in Han?" And it was found out that we actually couldn't do that in Han, so we were good. But that was silly. But yeah, no, the Na'Vi versus Alliance series was phenomenal for sure. More questions here. What does my wife think about my new experience you're going into? Well, you can check out her thoughts on thegoodgeekwife.com if you would like. Give her some free shout out here. Thegoodgeekwife.com. You can check her out there. And she gives her thought on this situation. That's her blog that she has going, so feel free to check it out. Don't troll too hard. You're looking forward to seeing me suffer through the 109 hero challenge. Excellent way to learn heroes. I agree, Rodham. That could be an excellent way. We'll see. Did you watch the? It's already answered that. Love you and Hawman. Welcome to Dota. I dropped a follow, homie. Thanks, I really appreciate it. All the follows, all the donations, the subscribers. It's fucking awesome, guys. Really is. Just kicking things off here. Looking forward to so much more. What am I going to miss about Han that you, and what do I look forward to in Dota 2? I've kind of answered that a little bit already. I get what I'm going to miss about Han, you know. Not that I'm going to miss this, but, you know, I was very comfortable with Han. Obviously with how long I was casting it for and just being so confident that I could cast a series, cast a match, and, you know, sound good doing it. Dota 2, it's a new territory for me. I admit there's a lot for me to learn. It's similar to Con, kind of, but it has enough differences to be somewhat intimidated at the same time. So that's it's going to take some time to get used to, but I'm confident I will. I am. Do I have a favorite hero for Dota 2? I've already talked about that. Shadow Shaman is kind of always been my favorite hero throughout history. Him and Omni Knight, because I like more of that heal supportish style hero, but Shadow Shaman I feel like you can play a little more offensively easily if you want to, and he brings that. And God, the Shadow Shaman now in Dota though with the Shallow Grave, fucking absurd, man. That is such a strong ability. Now you also got the the Oracle ability, the one not Shared Fate. Her ultimate, where it basically makes him invulnerable for the next, 5 seconds or whatever. Another, you can't kill this target ability. And it doubles a heal, yeah. Did Monkey King influence my Dota 2 transition? Serious question. Oh. Dazzle. Oh, yeah, okay. No, I didn't say Shadow Shaman. I said Shadow Priest. Didn't he used to be called Shadow Priest way back? I guess that might have been from Dota. No, Shadow Shaman is Polywog Priest. I know that. But I could have sworn he used to be called Shadow Priest. But yeah, Dazzle would be probably the more correct way to say that. So yes, I will have to. See, that's the other thing too. I'll say this: casters. When I have a game open and being able to reference things like that really quickly, it helps a lot more, not make myself look as stupid. And frankly, I feel like a lot of casters work that way too, When I'm sitting here just trying to do, think of things like that on the spot, again, I'm going to sound stupid sometimes, like I just kind of did right there, calling it something it's not. But when I'm in the game and being able to reference, in fact, I should have the game. Why do I not have the game open? I should be cheating right now. Yeah, Shadow Priest, it's his title. Okay. But now he's just Dazzle. Okay, I was going to say, I could have sworn it at least used to be Shadow Priest. When will we see you commentating a big Dota tournament? Well, Fenofakas, we'll go with that. As I said earlier, I was invited to help cover a tournament coming up in a couple weeks, actually. It's the MDL, Mars Dota 2 League. And it's an event in China. I'm not going to China, so I'll say that right off the bat. But there's other plans for that. So that more information will be coming out on that soon. But yeah, I'm looking forward to getting into that. What are my thoughts on Heroes of the Storm? Heroes of the Storm is an interesting game because obviously when coming from the background of Dota and Han and now getting into Dota 2, that speaks, and coming from even like CSGO, it speaks that I appreciate the competitive aspects of game, the very die-hard competitive aspects of the games, because these games kind of really make sure to bring these points that, not go quote-unquote casual. HOTS is the other approach. It's a very casual approach to the MOBA scene, and thus, from a competitive mindset, for the longest time, I was a little turned off by the idea. I will say, last BlizzCon, it kind of got my interest a little more. That I actually went out to BlizzCon last year, and I got the chance to play it a little bit. And honestly, I've kind of grown on it as a game to not only play but even watch a little bit. I still do prefer Dota 2 in this scene in the end for sure, but it's not as much of a. Maybe this is me just also growing up and getting older now, but I'm not as sold on this idea like, oh, fuck that, that's a casual game, I hate it. League of Legends, I feel like is, a lot of people would agree, a little more casual in some ways. But I frankly just don't like watching League of Legends. I really just don't. I don't like playing it. I don't like watching it. I tried playing it a long time ago. It's just not my thing. But HOTS actually kind of grew on a little bit. So it's kind of one of those fun, I just want to play a game for like a half an hour pretty quickly, hop on and play some HOTS. Beware, you'll be calling things by their HON names forever. I know. And guess what? Every Dota 2 co-caster, every HON co-caster of mine use Dota 2 names all the time. So it's going to slip up. It's going to happen. If people find that offensive, if people, despise it, then they're not going to like watching me. I mean, I'm not a perfect human being. It's going to happen. But part of my transition is trying to make sure to stay away from that. So I am going to do my best. But sometimes it will slip out. So, do you think you know Dota game enough to cast it? No. I mean, well, obviously, I'm confident enough, and again, the cast that I did this last weekend that I released a video of, I think that kind of showed that I'm confident enough to actually cast it on at least that level. Am I ready to fucking cast TI and, be in a big stage and cast in front of thousands of fans? No, absolutely not. But am I ready to just kind of do my casting from home and kind of chilling and having fun with it? Absolutely. I mean, why not? What's all fellas on to get learning exposure? Yeah, Rough Master, I definitely, honestly, it's been more the opposite, actually. A lot of former HON players have actually reached out to me and have offered their services and, if I need any help, blah, 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 let them know, and they can assist me in any way they can. So, again, that's just been crazy, seeing the reception and everything, so. Big Lucci. So, as far as my stream goes and what the schedule looks like, so I do plan to get a Google Calendar kind of set up to allow people to access to see, like, my schedule and everything, what the plan is from week to week. But right now, the very base plan is I'm going to start when I started today, which, holy shit, it's already 1:30. But at what cost? I'm going to start at, wow. J Smith 6690. Thank you so much, man. Welcome to Dota 2 Breaky. Dinner on me tonight. I hope your casting takes off. Thanks so much. I can eat tonight. Yes, thank you. No, thank you so much, man. I really do appreciate that. That means a lot. Thank you so much. Wow, that was quite the distraction. All right. What was I even saying? Oh, yeah, so my schedule every weekday, starting at 12 p.m. Eastern, 1800 CET, and then go for, 5-6 hours, kind of how I feel in the end, but, 5 to 6 hours is kind of the game plan. So, a fair amount of time, that's 5 days a week. Ideally, I'll cast at least a little bit on the weekends as well. However, I'm going to mainly leave the weekends open for events that come up, because ideally I'll start getting opportunity to cast some more events moving forward, and be it all very small events, whatever, but casting more events and possibly happen on the weekends and stuff. So if nothing's going on the weekend, then I may just pop on it for a personal stream and have fun with that. But that's kind of the game plan right now. But yeah, I do plan to have a schedule like release that will be week to week that you can check out. GT Chris, appreciate it, man. Thanks for hanging out for the time you did. By the way, I really do appreciate everyone. Like, it seems like the number just keeps going up and up. Like, whenever I'm kind of rambling on and talking like this, I almost feel like maybe initially it might be a decent viewer count, and then it just kind of drops off. But it's just gone up and up. Really do appreciate it, guys. Guess there's a reason you're staying here. Does the fact that milk fat now works for Blizzard and HOTS have an impact on your change of mind. I mean, obviously, okay, I'll say this. He helped me get into realizing that the game wasn't as, I shouldn't despise it as much as I did. I will admit that. But at the same time before that, I already was kind of growing on the idea a little bit. But yes, when he made the transition to go over to work for Blizzard and HOTS, it did kind of open my eyes a bit, because I started playing games with him of it a little bit, as well as some other friends of mine. And really, actually this isn't bad. It's enjoyable to play. So, and I come from the Warcraft universe in a lot of ways too. Obviously, World of Warcraft has been one of the most active games I've ever played in my life. Pretty much has been. Yes, I am playing Legion right now. I have a legendary, just saying. Yeah, got a legendary drop. No big deal. Stretch it. All right. Anyways, but yeah, so answer that question truthfully, of course. But I left Han 5 years ago. That's what you should have done as well. You have your own opinion, Patrick. You have your own opinion. Yes, Milkfat works for Blizzard. The hell was that? See, that's something else, too. I honestly don't use Steam a whole lot. I don't even know what that was. Anyways, I would buy a BreakyCPK announcer in Dota 2. Who's the Dota caster you admire the most, and which of their qualities do you try to emulate? I mean, there's been a lot of casters, Dota 2 casters, that I've enjoyed listening to or watching over time. Oh, that was a whisper. Okay. Honestly, there's LD comes to mind. OD Pixel, LD. I think they're a great combo and awesome casters. Draskell, when it comes to insight. Draskell and Merlini, I feel like, are very good, insightful casters and work very hard to make that a thing. So those are definitely some names that come to mind off the bat here. Are Imbaboy and Boxy still playing Han? I believe so. From my understanding, they still are. I'm not 100% sure, but... Valkyrie Rocket, of course I remember that pick. Oh, that's good. The Vacation Balfagor. That's a classic right there. Hold on, gotta switch this up. Vacation Balfagor in the house. Wow, that text is really screwed up. Let me move it over a little bit here. Why is it so stretched? All right, there we go. Boom. Anyways, yes, I do remember that pick, though. Never heard of you before, but wish you all the best in the Dota 2 scene. Appreciation. Thanks so much, man. The Dota scene, the Han scene, they do get a lot of, bad publicity, I guess you could almost say, in terms of people suggesting it's really hostile and really awful, but there's a lot of passion in these scenes. That's why, that really was a great thing about Han, and I think a lot of that comes from passion, honestly, and people being so, passionate about their game. And so, but just seeing comments like that is just proof that it's like there's plenty of good people in the scene too. Is my brother Toby? No, I am not Australian. I know it might sound like I'm Australian, but I'm from America, okay? Dante, I did cast Han with Toby at DreamHack, as well as an event in Singapore way back when. Team Breaky versus Team Toby 1, Dota 2 Civil Wars. Lol. Lol. Mate. Keizu, welcome to the channel. Why do you have mod on my channel? You shouldn't have mod on my channel. Just kidding. What's up, Keizu? Speaking of Han players that I look forward to watching in Dota 2. Thoughts on Trout? I've already talked about a little bit, but yeah, I mean, I've already talked to them quite a bit since I made this announcement here, and the possibility of us casting together is definitely not out of the question. So, this is a good question from Reddit, from Registered Dancer. Nice name. What can we expect from you in the coming month? Will you be doing more warm-up games like your first video? Will they be regular Breaking Fridays, or is it sort of random plan? So I kind of explained my schedule. That's kind of the plan, the weekly schedule and everything. But as far as what you can expect from, yeah, I mean, it's really going to be that. Again, I'm my process is moving forward as of today. I am committed to learning this game and practicing casting as much as I can. That really is my commitment. That means I'm going to have to back off playing a World of Warcraft for a bit. That's an understandable sacrifice that I'm going to have to make. But I really do want to do my best to obviously get practice in casting this game, learning this game, and I want to do it with you guys. That's the big thing in doing this full-time stream thing as well. So if you're a player that maybe feels like that there's still a lot to learn in this game, perhaps, or you just like being entertained by casts or whatever, or watching people that learn the game, this is going to be the perfect stream for you because that's what I'm all about. I'm about interacting with my chat here, and asking questions when I have them, and growing with you guys. So copy pastas don't work in lower viewer channels, mate. Copy pastas. Do I remember that moment? Another classic moment. Of course I do. Well, why were we hugging though? I mean, we were like that, I guess. We just loved each other so much. But not sure why we were hugging necessarily. Or was that him leaving? He might have announced that he was leaving there. Maybe that was it. I don't know. The awkward hug. What's up, Hazov Meister? Bring us some Han memes. Will do. Here's a Han meme. Or I don't even know. How long have you thought start casting Dota 2? It's been a process. It's not like this is a decision that I came up with last week and be like, you know what, I want to cast Dota 2. Obviously, it's been in a long time, really ever since Dota 2 is trying to gain some steam. It was kind of in the back of my head of like, you know what, should I maybe try to get into that scene or see? But especially in the beginning, I mean, Han was definitely on the up and up itself, and there was no reason to believe that wouldn't be the case moving forward. It really wasn't, but again, Han, it's like I hate saying it like that because it makes it seem like that Han was a failure and didn't succeed, and because it did, it really did. But Dota 2 did become much bigger, but as I said earlier, I do not regret my decision at all. I really do not, because you know what? Hey, now's what better time than now to get into it. I had a great time with it, so looking forward to moving forward with it now. Whatever happened to Angry Testy? I do not know. I do not know. He kind of just disappeared altogether. Not too sure what happened with him. All right. All right, I think we're finally slowing down here. Biggest sadness about leaving Han? I mean, I think I kind of answered that a little bit earlier. It's the comfort factor. The at the same time, as great as it is to have a huge scene like there is in Dota 2, having that personal scene in Han was kind of cool too. It's you go to these events and you'd always see the same faces, and it'd be your time to kind of meet up and hang out once again. And I always thought that, man, and sure, biased 100%, but Han players at events like DreamHack were always the coolest. I'm not gonna lie, we were the fucking cool kids club at these events. Like, not only were we like just good-looking people, but we just knew how to have a good time, to hang out, to chill, to have some drinks and stuff, to go to dancing at the club, getting our dance on. We had a good time. I'm sure there's plenty of that in Dota 2 as well, though. They have a lot to. We'll see. Well, I'll have to judge eventually when I get to go to my first big Dota 2 event, but we'll see. Am I going offline soon? You could stream some Valorant. Oh, Keanu Reeves, what's up? That's Katie there. That's interesting news. Okay, so I announced something else I announced earlier. I'll kind of reiterate this then. speaking of, casting other games as well, Battle.Right, for those that haven't heard of this game, I suggest checking it out. They're getting out more and more beta keys, so there's ways to get them. If you haven't played Battle.Right yet, you should try to get a key and check it out, because it's one of these games. It's actually based off of a World of Warcraft arena style of game, except more of a top-down view. Bloodline Champions, it's from the creator of Bloodline Champions, for those that may remember that some 4 or 5 years ago or so. But I'm actually going to be casting an event for Battle.Right coming up very soon here. So it's going to be a small event. It's not going to be anything huge. It's going to be a smaller event, but that should be some fun, and I look forward to doing that coming up. So definitely check it out, guys. And apparently I can actually stream it now, so I may actually stream that a little bit later on as well. But the initial plan, we're definitely going to play some Dota 2 here, or cast some Dota 2. I think that's what I kind of want to do, to be honest, jump into some random matches here and just cast a little bit with you guys. But just remember, it's the Enigma hole and not the Tempest hole. Lol. Battle.Right is not actually out yet. No, it's still in beta. In fact, I got some beta keys. So, while we're on that topic, let's do a freaking giveaway. Do I even have keyword Battle.Right? That doesn't work. Shit, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't say it. It didn't work. I don't want my channel to be spammed now. I don't know if I can, if I have access to do that more. Keyword giveaway. Battle.Right. Anyway, 30 seconds. Okay, there we go. There we go. Now do it. Battle.Right. Type Battle.Right. This is for a beta key. Only if you don't have one, obviously. Don't be that guy and doing it just because you want it. Oh, shit! We got a winner. The winner is Bull D. Blazer. All right, it's done. It's done. Calm down. God damn it. All right. I'm going to message Bull D. Blazer with the key. And there we go. Battle.Right key. All right. We'll do more of those later on. Okay, congrats to Bull D. Blazer. I don't want my chat to be spammed as the #1 way to get your chat spammed. I've been around Twitch a long time. I know that was a stupid thing to say. All right. I think we are good to get things moving on here. I think that was a successful AMA, so I really do appreciate it, guys. Am I going to cast Dota 2 only from my own stream for now? There's no intention of casting on other streams unless that opportunity comes up. Like if there's an event going on where they specifically require me to cast from their channel and I'm working with them, then of course I'll cast from their channel. But I plan to do a lot of casts from my own channel. And that's another thing that I do look forward to about Dota 2, the watch system.